Hey, you guys. Welcome, 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 guys. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome, all subscribers, old and new, you guys. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Happy Monday, you guys. Happy Monday to you all. Y'all, today was a weird day. Um, but yeah, I'm glad that I was able to come on live and just, catch up with you guys, see how you guys are doing. How has the I never noticed that before. How has the weekend? How was the weekend for you guys? How is the start of your day, your week? Um, I know a lot of you guys are at work right now. I hope you guys are having an amazing day at work. I think it's lunchtime for a lot of you guys. So I hope you guys have an amazing, scrumptious, healthy lunch that does wonders for your body and your spirit and uplifts you so that you are able to get back into that job and just do the dang on thing. And even if you're not at work, I hope your lunch is amazing. We actually just had dinner over here. It is 7:30. It's 7:30 here in the evening in Tanzania. So yeah, you guys, that is what's going on. Everybody was driving me crazy. I'm not gonna front. Like everybody was driving me crazy. So I was like, you know what, this is the perfect time. Everybody done ate, everybody's showering, doing their thing. I'm gonna come on here and see how my peoples are doing. So hope you guys are having an amazing day today, you guys. Today was just one of those days, it kind of went by easy breezy. Didn't have much going on. But it was just, it was kind of, you ever had those days you kind of feel off, your mood is off a little bit and all the things. But it was okay. It actually started off okay, you guys. Like, hi guys, welcome to the live. Say what's up. The day started off okay because my BFF, he has sent me a link. He sent me a link to now my BFF, you guys, like we've known each other since we're like kids, okay? So we even went to the same church. Our parents were best friends and everything. And we actually he sent me a link to our old youth minister, you know, yeah, our old youth minister that was did that thing for us back in the day, whatever. But he was preaching at a church, whatever. And I listened to it this morning. I didn't do it yesterday on Sunday. I listened to it this morning, and the message was about zeal. Hi, Block C boy. I am in Tanzania, Africa. I am from Boston, Massachusetts, and I grew up there as a child. And then I had my adult life in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. But I relocated from there, and I'm here now. I've been here about 6 years. Where are you from? Thumbs up the live, please and thank you. And so yes, you guys. So I listened to the message, and the message really like, how it was nostalgic, you guys, because it was back in the day, and of course I've had different views since then. As an adult, I'm more able to think on my own and figure things out on my own, and what I want to follow is this channel is not about religion or anything like that. Oh, from India, awesome. Hi, Abdulia. How are you? And you're from LA. Cool beans. Cool beans. I've never been to LA. What's the weather like where you guys are at right now? Because as you guys can tell, like it's nighttime here. What time is it for you guys right now? It is 7:30 p.m. and it's cold. It's the cold season. Throughout the day it gets warmer, but like I'm cold. Okay, that's not bad weather at all. Is it daytime or is it like evening for you? Um, but yeah, so it was nostalgic listening to my old pastor, and he was talking a lot about zeal, and it just got me thinking on a regular, basis. 9:30 daytime, so it's 9:38 in the morning or p.m. I mean, um, and it just got me thinking, you guys, like, what are some of the things that I was excited about and I was zealous about when I was younger, um, because I'm very much, morning. Okay, awesome. I'm very much into just, finding the joy. You guys already know we're all about finding the joy on this channel, and I feel like a lot of times as we get older, you guys, the stresses of life and the mundane of 9 to 5 and all the things and getting our bills paid, making sure our children are doing okay, we tend to lose that zeal for life. Okay. Thank you. We tend to lose that zeal for life. We tend to lose the fun. We tend to lose what we want to uh be excited about. You know what I mean? So it had me thinking, like, what am I excited about now? What are the new dreams and goals? And what are some of the old things? What are some old things that you were happy about growing up? You know what I mean? But now you feel like you lost that part of you. And even if you're not still into those same things, like, are you intentionally going after other things to, increase your zeal for life? Because you know what? Something like I said, you guys, this is not a religion talk at all or a religious channel, but I feel like if in terms of religion, like I feel like all the religions are it's all about doing good and also finding those things that bring you joy to be able to in a way uplift the Almighty, right? And so I feel like, okay, what are some of the things that I am extremely excited about, happy about, brings me joy and things like that. Like this channel definitely brings me joy, you guys. Like I don't think I was this excited about this channel when I started the first time around. I feel like the first time around, yes, of course, it was new and exciting because it was something new and I was doing it and I was learning a little, new things or whatever. But after the dust settled, it kind of became a little bit of a have to, a little bit of a nuisance, a little bit of, kind of like, and it was really because I was speaking on things that, because when I first started this channel, it was about are we locating here to Tanzania, you know what I mean? And that was great and it was fun, but after a while, okay, I'm living here, so it's like, okay, I don't want to keep talking about the transition, you know what I mean? The transition have been transitioning. So, and I still do talk about it once in a while. If somebody asks me a question or whatever, I definitely go back into that kind of stuff. But I want to focus more on things that bring joy. And I feel like helping, talking about that and helping other people to find some joy in their life, that makes me happy. You know what I mean? I feel like when I influence somebody to like tell them like, okay, you guys, like, yeah, I had this in mind to do. I no longer procrastinate. I wrote it down and I started going about those specific actions to gain whatever goal, whatever achievement I wanted to gain. You know what I mean? And somebody else get influenced by that, and they become a go getter, and they go after their dreams and their goals, or influence other people. I enjoy that. I really enjoy that, and and really and truly, like I feel like happy people, like really genuinely happy people do the best things for the world. You know what I mean? Like, come on, like let's think about it. Like people who are miserable, like and bringing out miserable energy into the world and putting out, negativity and all the things. It's like you kind of don't want to be around that. Nobody wants to be around negative people. You know what I mean? And I feel like if you're out there intentionally finding your joy, finding what you're grateful for on a regular basis, and on those times, you guys, during those times where you're feeling a little overwhelmed or you feel a little bit annoyed or whatever the case may be, you know what I mean? Like finding the gratitude in those moments. It may be harder. It is harder to find your happy and you know what I mean, under your joy in those moments. But just to sit back and just take the time to be grateful, to find out what in that negative space are you grateful for a few minutes ago, like like if you're a mom or a parent, you already know. Sometimes those kids can get on your nerves. They can get on your nerves. Things can happen. It's natural. Like, it's one of those things. You're a parent, the kids are gonna get on your nerves, point blank. Okay, but in those moments where you're feeling yes, on your nerves, okay? But in those moments where the screaming is screaming, the yelling, the harassing one another, all the things, if you just take one quick second to be like, okay, well, I'm grateful that they're here regardless. I'm grateful I have them in my life. I can't remember my life without them. I'm grateful that they are able to speak, even if they're talking too dang on much right now. It brings you back. It snaps you back to a more happier place. Because guys, okay, let me tell you, like I have my third child, my son. I didn't know. Fun fact, well, not really fun fact because if you guys been on my channel, you guys know I stopped working when I had my third child, and I became a stay-at-home mom because y'all. Those fees for those daycares, I might as well I was just giving them my check anyway, so I might just stay home. Okay, so I didn't know until he was going on, I think like three, or yeah, going toward like past two, going towards three, that he was on the spectrum, meaning he was going to like a bit of autistic. He wasn't talking. He wasn't like he didn't like to be played with. Like he's cool. Like he can be alone and have a good old time by himself. All the things. And once we realized that and took the actions that we need to take to help him out, y'all, that boy talks so much now. Years later, he's 12 now. Y'all, he talks so much, and he's still, he has he scripts a lot, and scripts just means he repeats. Like if he's watching a show, like he can repeat the whole show to you, like everybody who said what and verbatim. Okay, so he scripts a lot, and he talks regularly a lot. So it's like, and I remember those days when that boy was not talking, okay, and I was sitting there waiting to be called mommy and all the things, and that boy was not talking. So fast forward now to the future, to the present, where he's just and and you have your times as a parent where you're just so annoyed, and you're like, dude, you know what I mean? Like, shh. You know what I mean? But you have to take moments, you guys. You have to take those moments, and you have to be grateful. Be grateful in the times where it's hard to be grateful. That is the time, you guys, where you are going to find some more, you're going to find joy. And I think that when you find that type of joy, it's like an abundance of it, because it's not like regular joy where you're already happy and you're already in a good mood, and you're already, you know what I mean, like you're already feeling the feels. No, this is joy you actually had to work to get. Like you was annoyed, these kids have been screaming all day long, you know what I mean, the dishes ain't done how they just should be done, like people are peeing on the toilet seats. Okay, y'all. Okay, this is real life. I just yelled. Okay, I just yelled like a few minutes ago before I came on here. Like, why are we not peeing inside? Why are we not peeing inside the toilet? Why, when okay, if you helping the little one to go pee, why are you not waiting until they're done to clean up and all, y'all? I just had I just had those real mom moments right before I came on here. You know what I mean? And as soon as I sat down, it was kind of like, okay, you know what? It's a blessing. It's all a blessing. It's all a, sometimes, the blessings are not just, boxed up with the bow and all, the blessings come with some sometimes as well. Okay. Like the happiness and all the things, you guys. Ooh, I didn't realize I could leave that. The happiness, you guys, and all the, the happiness and the joys sometimes come with frustration. Okay, they come with frustration. Children are a blessing. They come with frustration. Your job is a blessing. It comes with frustration. Okay, and that's just how getting older is a blessing, but it comes with frustration. Okay, so you have to be able to just remove yourself a little bit, mentally, however you need to do it, to see the oh no, that is cold. Let me put my feet on something, y'all. This floor is freezing. Okay, it's better. You have to be able, you guys, to remove yourself from the situation a little bit, whether it's just mentally, physically, whatever you gotta do, and just see the blessing in it. For instance, okay, like my garden right now, or our garden, like you guys, if you guys been watching this channel, you guys know that we have a garden, and we, sometimes post what's going on, and you guys know, like, the garden's doing well. However, there's a fungus happening or whatever, mildew. Let me just went and got the medicine or whatever, but it's disheartening at times, because it's gardening is not for the weak, y'all. Okay, and neither is construction life and all the things. And we have what is this? The guavas. The guavas are doing looking so pretty, y'all, but like they're our first harvest, and we can't even eat any of it yet because of whatever mildew is happening. I think it attacked like three of the trees, the papaya, the guava, and the some other tree. So we have to take care of it and treat it and everything else. The garden is a blessing, but it comes with frustration. Okay, life is you're gonna have your ups and downs. You're gonna have the joyous moments, you guys. And even this house, like the construction and doing all the things. Okay, y'all, frustration to the nine, especially out here in Tanzania. It's always something, and I guess it just makes you realize, life be life, and no matter what, and whatever the scale may be. Like I just walked from this room to go into the next room to get some things to, set myself up so I can be here for a little bit with you guys on this live. And I was just like, okay, well, obviously the house is not done yet. This room right here is the third room that is being done, and it's done. The third room is the most complete room. Okay, and I don't mean decoration wise. I just mean complete room as it is. And it's missing a door. It's missing one door. And it's missing some. Anyway, y'all. So I was walking to, I walked out, and it's a Jack and Jill. So it's a Jack and Jill's, which means it's two rooms with a connecting bathroom. So I was walking towards the other side of the house to go get some things to set myself up for this live. And I was a little, annoyed with the kids and things like that. But then I passed. I'm like, oh, this tile. And there wasn't always tile, you know what I mean? The tile just, started this week. And I had to tell hubby, like, like it's coming along. It's coming along, that moment of just seeing, what I got, you know what I mean, and appreciating what I got and what's going on in the progress. Appreciate the progress, you guys. Let's appreciate the progress. Appreciate the journey. Sometimes it's hard. Sometimes you don't want to do stuff. Y'all, sometimes I don't want to raise no kids. Sometimes you don't want to be mothering. Sometimes you don't want to. Oh, thank you. You too. Be safe. Sometimes you don't want to do all that. You don't want to. You don't want to mother. You don't want to be a parent. But you have to you have to think about the blessing. They are a blessing. They are a part of me. Like I couldn't be without my kids. Like I love my kids. I love my family. I love my husband. You know what I mean? It's not, nothing is perfect. You know what I mean? Nothing is perfect. And it's like, you just have to sit back and appreciate. And you know what, you guys? I am that girl. Like, I don't know if you guys, y'all continue crocheting. Y'all know, like, I am that. If you don't know now, I'm that girl that, being in my mind all the time, it was never a good thing for me. Like, it was very much a negative space for me. You know what I mean? I store so much negativity up here. But being able to kind of remove certain things and add more gratitude up here, y'all, doing wonders for me, doing wonders. And so even though I was aggravated in the moment, I was, like really annoyed with these kids and the yelling and all that stuff, and like nearly getting a headache, and had to get me a little sip of wine. Like I had to do all the things, you know what I mean? The moment that took time, like it just happened naturally. It wasn't like I didn't even intentionally do that, but sometimes you have to be intentional. And just walking back and forth out this room to go get things for this live. And I'm like, oh, wow. You know what I mean? Like the gratitude just uplifts you. You know what I mean? And there's so many things to be grateful for, you guys. So many things to be grateful for. And sometimes we just have to get out of our own way, because sometimes we can be the cause. Although there's crap going on around us, there's the kids screaming, there's you gotta do dinner, you gotta do that, you gotta deal with the man, you gotta or the wife, whatever the case may be. If even if you are a gardener and all your stuff just dies, so there things happen in life, y'all. Just be intentional to have some gratitude. Be intentional, and it will go such a long way. It will go a long way. It's kind of like your kryptonite for the negativity. It's the kryptonite for the negativity that's happening around you. You know what I mean? That's just facts. It's the kryptonite for negativity. Being grateful. Find a reason. Find something. You have a headache and you're pissed off. Be grateful that you can get you some Advil or some pain reliever. You know, be happy that because really and truly, guys, like be happy that when you have a headache or whatever, be happy that your body is working properly, because pain is like it's like the warning sign, like something is going on, you need to fix. You know what I mean? Have perspective. Pain is a reason. There's a reason and a rhyme for it. Your body is working properly. It's telling you something is up, so go figure it out. You know what I mean? So we can be upset and pissed off at the world for so many things, guys. Like, especially now, we can be so upset and so annoyed about different things. And it doesn't have to be so grand as the whole world. It can just be within your household. It can be your friend groups, whatever the case may be. Find a reason to be happy, you guys. Find a reason to have gratitude. Find a reason to care enough for yourself that you are going to take a second. It should, because if it's taking you for like a whole day to find out what you're grateful for, like that's mm-mm. Something's wrong. Something's wrong, because just the breath in your lungs alone. Okay, somebody didn't wake up today. Someone didn't wake up today. Y'all hear them screaming over there. And I'm grateful that they have each other. They have siblings. They have siblings to live with one another. You know what I mean? And not only that, their dad is out there. Like, find reasons to be grateful, you guys. Find a reason to be grateful. Find a reason to be excited. Get your zeal back for life. You know what I mean? Be that person that people can look at and be like, wow, like they have gone through this, they have gone through that, but they're still moving, and they still have a smile on their face, and and it's not a front. It's not like you're faking the funk. You know what I mean? It's not about that. It's just about truly being grateful and having gratitude. Now, after this live, because y'all, I'm talking to myself and as well. Y'all know when I talk to y'all, I'm talking to myself. And after this live, you know what I mean? I don't feel like I'm gonna go back, in the population. Because y'all's a whole population over there on that side of the house. Okay, I'm not gonna go back there and still be grumpy or still feel annoyed or still feel other things, because really and truly, like, kids are gonna be kids. They're gonna be wild, and when it's practically bedtime, is things are gonna happen. You know what I mean? So just find the gratitude in it. Like, I'm so happy that my child, and it's the thing too. Like, I have the experience of knowing what a child is like that can't speak or won't speak or has some kind of speech impediment. You know what I mean? So the fact that right now they are over that hump, they're way over that hump, and they just yap yap yapping. I cannot be mad at it. I mean, I can. You know what I mean? There's always you're always able to be upset. You're always able to be like annoyed. You're always able to, but grasp at the positive. Let's grasp at the thank the Lord. Because and me and hubby talk about that sometimes too. We be in the bed like, babe. We'd be like, y'all. Case in point, yesterday I told that boy to bring me a glass jar. I reuse my glasses, so y'all know that. And we have a bunch of little ones. He brought me this big old thing. That's okay. But yeah, so me and hubby be in the bed. And we be talking, he'd be like, babe, remember when that boy couldn't talk? And we were like, yeah, like, you have to, you have to think about stuff like that. You have to laugh at it. You have to, and then be grateful. You know what I mean? Because really and truly, I'm that mom, you guys. A side note, I'm that mom. I'm not letting my kids go to like a daycare or anything like that until they're able to speak and tell me, if something happens or whatever the case may be. You know what I mean? Or even like, let's say they go on a field trip on a bus or something like that, and the bus, because y'all, back in the States, kids were like dropping like flies because they were getting left behind on the school buses in the heat and everything else like that. You know what I mean? So like, I need my kids to be able to speak. Like, I'm in here, like, let me out, all the things. So when I was working, 9 to 5 and all the things, whatever, yeah, like my kids could not go to school until they was able, could not go to daycare until they was able to speak. Granted, it did not always pan out that way because the first time around it didn't happen that way, and then my second, at least she had her brother, and you know what I mean, and then it was just like, okay, I'm staying home. We were able to stay home, for me to stay home, and that was raps. That was raps. And then when it was time for like school, yeah, no, nobody's going until they can speak, and that was point blank. But imagine, and then I had the son, and he could not speak. He was not speaking. He did not. It would and I, people will say, oh, maybe he's deaf and he can't hear, and I was like, no, that's not it. Like, I don't want to hear that. You know what I mean? Like, I was not. I didn't. I don't like people speaking things like that into existence. Y'all, I be about words. Words mean things. Speaking them out mean things. So I was very like protective. Like, don't. I was just talking to my neighbor not too long ago. Like, don't use my kids in any like negative scenarios. Like, I don't care. Like, yes, that's the reality of life. Yes, things can happen. I don't care. I don't. I do not. Don't speak those things towards my kids. Like, that's just me. You know what I mean? Respectfully. And so yeah, so like fast forward now to the present, and that boy is just yapping it away. You know what I mean? And he's always like telling on somebody or whatever. Like, that's a blessing. You know what I mean? It's an absolute blessing to know that he can speak, and he can speak over and over and over again, and all the while you're like, oh my gosh. you know you guys, we have to see the blessings, we have to be grateful for them, and we can never, like, don't go back, like, don't be praying for something or manifesting something, whatever the case may be, and wanting something, and then when it gets to you, you're basically overwhelmed by the abundance of it. Because that is exactly the example with my son, and he's speaking. Okay, you praying about it, you manifesting, he's gonna speak. We talking to everybody, everybody's praying, he gonna speak, and Lord, now that the boy is talking and never want to shut up, it's like it's an abundance of the prayer that you were praying for, and it's like, were you ready? It don't matter if you were ready because it's here, okay? So you guys, in times where you feel like you are overwhelmed, it's life is life in and this and that, like, find find out why life is life in for you. Because for the most, we always know why life is life in for us. It could be the job, it could be, our family, it could be, whatever, our friends groups, whatever the case may be, you know and if you have to cut things out, I understand by cutting them out. But if it's just a case of you taking a step back, because it really actually, guys, like, it's kind of like the whole cancel situation, like about canceling people. Like, don't do that. Like, I feel like, like, if they truly are toxic in your life, fine, that's one thing. But don't just be going out, oh, they didn't agree with me or whatever. Like, not everybody has to agree with you for what? Like, everybody's different. You know what I mean? Like, everybody has their own mind and things like that. Like, be careful who are in your friend groups, and be careful who you're basically like cutting out of your life, because sometimes it's not necessary. You know what I mean? Sometimes it's not necessary. So yeah, it was just like, we just gotta be careful, you guys. We have to take account, like, okay, if this situation is annoying me, why? Or if this is my job, okay, figure out why and all the things, but also be grateful. Like, I'm grateful for the job. I'm grateful that I'm able to feed my family with this job. You know what I mean? All the things, you guys, and don't sit there comparing your. Sometimes too, we compare our blessings in other people's blessings. Like, how come like they are so far ahead than I am, and we're in the same boat type of situation? No, like stay in your lane, mind your business. Mind your business. you know, y'all, it's just, it's it's definitely been one of those days today, and I think I'm like going full circle now at the point from this morning, like full circle from this morning, because hey girl, how are you? Welcome to the live. How was your weekend? Which I know was fabulous. And how's your Monday going? We're talking about just kind of being grateful, and getting the zeal back for life. Because I was given a scenario of how I was given a scenario, thank you, of how my son, he was not, he didn't speak, he's autistic. He was on the spectrum, and I didn't know as he got old, when he was younger, and he didn't speak, and and how we was all praying for him and all this other stuff and yada yada yada. And years later in the present now, all that boy do is talk. you know so the blessings came, with an abundance. And it's like, the times where you are aggravated as a parent, or you just annoyed or whatever, it's like take a few seconds and just appreciate and be happy that the fact that you have kids. Some people can't have kids. You know what I mean? When you're annoyed at that job, when you're pissed off, for whatever, just be, stay in your lane at the job, stay in your lane. You don't have to be he with everybody at the cooler or whatever the case may be, or potluck, whatever, you know what I mean? But just be grateful that you have the means to feed your family, feed yourself. You know, um, Sometimes I think it's so, because I was before I came on this live, I was like yelling, like, why is this? I was telling them earlier, like, why is there pee on the toilet? Why is this? Like, I was like, it was a weird day today. And I felt like the attitude creeping in. You know what I mean? I was feeling the annoyance creeping in, and then walking back and forth to come set myself up in here. I'm just like, wow, the house is coming along. We're in the construction, so I'm like, this room I'm in now is the room that we just built. And I was just like, okay, well, it's coming along, and just taking the time to just be appreciative and be grateful for, whatever the case may be. My garden is going through some crap right now. You know what I mean? You guys know I have a garden, and I had to take the time to be like, wait, I'm happy. I love my garden. You know what I mean? Even though it's frustration. Life is full of frustrations, and yeah, take a deep breath. Oh, girl. Woo! Yes. Life can be so full of frustrations, and behind those frustrations though are the joy, all the this I don't feel like there's any joy that is not like your joy, the natural really good joys, like the really amazing happiness and joyfulness. I feel as if they actually do come from the frustrations. You know what I mean? Like, you have to take a step back and be like, well, I'm frustrated during this whole construction life and everything else like that, but I'm building my own house. You know what I mean? Like, I'm frustrated over these kids and their nonsense today, but huh, I have wonderful children. You know what I mean? Like, I can't picture my life without them. I'm frustrated about my numbers perhaps on YouTube or whatever, but I'm doing it. I see the progress. You know what I mean? I have a like this week. You know what I mean? Like, it's all about gratitude. I feel like snapping almost every day, and I tell myself it's not worth it. It's not. And you know what? Sometimes I feel like it's okay. Maybe not to snap on people, but definitely take that time to acknowledge what you're feeling, how you're feeling, and other things. And just, if you need to write some things down, write it down. If you need to scream, scream, maybe not at somebody, but maybe in the shower. I remember there was this one time where and this is why I don't discuss politics, religion, and finances, and not to, the world and people, There's very little few people I can discuss those things with where I don't feel like it's gonna go into some kind of debate. I'm not here to debate. I'm not here to debate. I don't like debating in school. Like, I'm not here to debate. My opinion is my opinion, and I respectfully respect yours, but we don't have to discuss it. We really don't. Like, we can go kiki and tee and go do all the things. But sometimes it feels like even if the person does not intend to go into debate, it'll lead to that direction. And maybe if even if it's not, maybe I'm projecting. I feel like I might not like your answer. I might not like how you presented it to me. You know what I mean? And so I stay away from that. But you know what I mean? So you have to be able to figure out yourself and know what positions not to put yourself in. There's ways to, not be all up in people, all up in some nonsense sometimes. But if you find that you are, because, that's just life, we're not going to be free from, arguments or disagreements and things like that. You know, um, there's ways to, I think, to adjust to those situations and to be able to just breathe in and breathe out and let it go. And also, like, take the time of, okay, like, I'm upset right now and I'm annoyed, but okay, if what am I grateful for today? Like, sometimes it's just that easy. I feel like sometimes we want to do all this extra stuff, and it's needed. I believe in therapy. I believe in I definitely believe in prayer. I believe in all those things. But sometimes you can just do the work yourself, just like that. Like, I feel like the Almighty gave us a switch. We're able to do certain things for ourselves, you guys. You know what I mean? You're able um, to turn that frown upside down. You know what I mean? And it's not fake. It's You're able to just be like, okay, well, you know what, this scenario does not suit me. It does not uplift me. Let me go do something real quick that's gonna bring me some joy. Let me okay, what happened today that I'm excited about? I was talking earlier about how my BFF sent me a link to our youth pastor, and yeah, our youth pastor, y'all, like way, way, way youth. Our youth pastor, he was preaching, and it's been such a long time, and I watched it this morning, not yesterday, it was for yesterday, Sunday. And I listened to it this morning. It was very nostalgic, and it was about zeal and the zeal for life and the things and what are you zealous about. And that's really what brought me onto the channel today. Well, not to the channel, but just that was the kind of like the topic, like what am I happy about? What am I zealous about? What am I passionate about? And what are some of the things that I was passionate about and I'm not anymore? And why? You know what I mean? And those things, the things that are, you're really passionate about and you're really zealous over and all, those things bring on frustrations too. You know what I mean? Like, especially if you're learning something new, you guys, like, there are definitely learning curves to things like that, whether it's a new hobby, whether it's, start a new relationship, whatever the case may be, there are learning curves. And everything brings on frustration. You have to be intentional to be grateful, intentional to find your joy. Nobody's gonna just, of course, I mean, there's certain things that people can do for you, to you, other things that bring you joy, but we shouldn't be dependent on that. We are given sense and we need to use, y'all, girl, some people don't have none. Some people act like they don't have none. Like they didn't, like they stepped out the line when the senses were being given, you know? And some of us, I feel like some of us, we were a little too greedy in getting sense, and we're not grounded, and we don't have no, we are not able to, to relate to people. Intentionally, yes. Choose yourself. Yes. Yeah. You don't think some don't have it? I don't know. I know we're not born equal. Um, I don't know. I know we're not born equal, but I do feel like we're all born with a certain amount of certain things, and sense being one of them. And if you lose it along the way, that's you. Whoop, I'm falling out. If you lose it along the way, then yeah, that you lost it, and you got to figure out how to gain it back. But you know, I don't, you can learn all types of stuff in this world. I don't feel like if you don't have no sense, like if you don't have street smarts, that's understandable. If you were, that's kind of understandable. Then that's that you can learn that. If you don't have book smarts, you can learn that too. You know what I mean? Um, they have none because they have no self esteem. Hmm. They don't have sense because they have no self esteem. I'm digesting that. They have no sense because they have no self esteem. I guess that does go hand in hand. It does go hand in hand in some form. Huh. I never thought about that. Thanks, Marlene. Let me think about. I'm definitely gonna be chewing on that for a little bit. You don't have sense, so you don't have because well, been there. Been there. Thank you, Lord. I'm out of there. Okay, like you know that. Wow, I've never thought about it that way. So definitely thank you for that nugget. Um, gain some self-esteem, y'all. Gain some confidence, gain some self-love. What I told my friend, I was like, okay, one self-care act a day might keep the therapist away. Okay. If you don't love yourself, then you don't make good choices. True. True. That's true. You're definitely accurate on that. I guess I was thinking it more too broad, but I guess yeah, if you don't love yourself, you really can't make good choices. Been there, y'all. Like I've made some horrible choices. We'll definitely dig deep dive in more into that, but definitely have made some ridiculous choices in life, post tragedy, you know what I mean? And I'm just glad I'm at the other side of it now. Yeah, you know. And I feel like I am that person who, I definitely I'm very the empathy, y'all. I already told you guys like I'm very empathetic. That's why sometimes I have to stay away from people because it's too much. I can sympathize and I can empathize, and I think you know sometimes it's like okay, you can give all the good advice you can give, and it goes in one ear out the other with people. And I feel like sometimes when you lack that self love and you lack that self esteem, I think taking good, concise advice is even harder. Um, so yeah, I try to give people what I want to say. I give them, I'm like, what can I do? You know what I mean? Like it's like, you just give them, okay, hopefully you learn, hopefully you understand, because they can yes ma'am you to death. People will say yes, that makes sense, yes, that's true, and yada yada yada, but turn around, they're not taking the advice, the amazing advice that you're giving. You know what I mean? So yeah, like I said, y'all, one good self care, self love a day, task a day, it might keep the therapist away. It just might. And not to say the therapists are bad, I just thought it was, kind of cute and funny. But yeah, it's important, you guys. It's definitely important to find the time to be grounded, to be grateful, you know, and do it, yes, intentionally, but also do it during those times where it's the hardest. It's gonna get you out of it. It's that in itself is self love and self care because you don't want to be balled up with all this negative energy and things. Things are just falling apart. People are pissing you off. You are feeling all types of crazy on the inside. Take a step, take a breather, think about in that moment, what are you grateful for? Okay, if you are going back to back with somebody and it's somebody you love, just take that time to like, I'm grateful that this person is healthy. I'm grateful that this person, is still in my life, that we could even have this debate right now. I'm happy, you know what I mean? Like bring some gratitude into the frustration, into the chaos. It'll do you so much. It'll do so good. It's so good. I am telling you, like I'm telling y'all, before I came on here, before I came on here, like I felt it. I felt like I was getting, and nothing really terrible happened. You know what I mean? It's just, we're human, and This is the human experience, y'all. So you're gonna have moments you're just like, I'm starting to get annoyed, I'm starting to feel frustrated. And then I just, a thought came into my head that brought me into full circle to gratitude mode. And I was just like, you know what I mean? Like, take the time, be intentional. Like, it's not easy at first, you guys, to just, your if you're going back and forth with somebody, or if you're at work and somebody is harassing your life or whatever the case may be, it's not always easy to just take the quick second to think of what you're grateful for. It's not. It's not. You know what I mean? But if you put that, in you, if you put, okay, I'm gonna be intentional. I'm gonna, say it out loud. I'm gonna be intentional about getting, being grateful. I'm gonna find things to be grateful about, even through stresses of the day. It'll come more and more natural. That's exactly what it is right now. For me, it's a little bit more natural because I'm implementing it. I've been implementing it throughout this year. Like I told y'all about 2025, honey. Okay, like 2025 is about uplifting, not procrastinating on ourselves and our self love, self care, our goals and dreams, fun, joy, all the things. I'm being intentional. Are you being intentional for yourself? For yourself. And really and truly, like, yes, for yourself, but that's going to illuminate. It's going to illuminate and show, and people are going to gravitate towards it, and you are going to be that example without even knowing it. You know what I mean? I have to be that example with my kids. You know what I mean? Like I want to be that example of somebody that's doing the thing and, not just saying stuff. Y'all, so far I have no major complaints about 2025. And, of course it's still a whole half of the year to go. But it's still that for me, that just means I have a half a year to complete more goals and more dreams and have more ambition and have more, just do the things that I want to do to, uplift and edify and, put a smile on this girl's face. Don't you want to see a smile on my face? Don't you want to see a smile on your face? Okay? So that's what it's giving, y'all. That is what the day is. That's what's going on. I hope you guys are having an amazing day. I know you guys are probably finished with lunch, um, and all the things. I really like this. I really enjoyed this live today. Let's see. Tomorrow is Tuesday. I'm not sure on the plans. The plans was okay. Let me give y'all a little. Thank you. The plan was tomorrow. I was supposed to. I want to take some pictures. I was telling you guys how I was not gonna wait for no photographer and all of those things. I feel like I'm cool with that. So I've done my daughter's hair. The boys' hair I did. Hubby cut the boys' hair. He cuts, and thank you, Marlene. Thank you so much. Um, I lock and we twist the kids' hair. Hubby shaves and cuts. And I found, y'all know I'm struggling, y'all, because the kids, the boys, they, the clothes, get past, it would have been, we're still kind of transitioning in a sense when it comes to these boys. 'Cause the boys are growing, y'all, and for the most part, they have their school clothes, and then but the junk, like clothes you just wear on the farm and things like that. So, sh- no, no, you have your underwear. Go outside. But I don't want to go outside. Not outside. Go back there. I'm busy. Go. You got no pants on, nothing like that. Go. But you got something. And so, yeah. So I knew I had to like pick through. No, that's not mine. That's Symphony's. Put it back on her bed. Oh, okay. Thank you. And you can leave now. Thank you. Are the red one yours? Yes, the red one is mine. But where's the boys one? The boys don't have one. This is not for boys. Oh. Well, you need to give me a turn from that. No. Go, please. Thank you. Bye, Xavier. Bye, Journey. Y'all. Yes, I be calling them all types of names. It's five of them, y'all. I be getting off like, yeah, you know who you are. But yeah, so I went through the closets, you guys, and I was picking out clothes. I was trying to, make sure it looked kind of, cohesive for all of us. So I can take some family pictures while the little one is still little. And so I finally got to do that. It was It wasn't easy, y'all. I'm telling you right now. Definitely have to re up on their clothing. It'll happen soon. I'm not pressed for it because I feel like as long as I got their uniforms for school, and like they ain't going nowhere right now. Like, y'all, it be a struggle sometimes, but it's okay. I'm not complaining. It's okay. So they can't stand to see mom had her girl. I'm like, what you coming in here for? Like, and there's a whole bathroom in between where he at, but it's fine. So yeah, so I got the clothes together. So I think tomorrow, I know hubby has some things to do in the morning. I think tomorrow we're gonna be able to take those pictures. Um, I'm looking forward to doing that. I want to have some pictures while the baby's still little and girl. And then I can have them. So when it's time to actually put photos up, I have those pictures. And because I'm not procrastinating because I want to wait on hubby and I to set up a time so we can get some matching clothes and or have get a photo like the photographers out here are not cheap. I'm like, you know what? No, like this ain't we ain't got no stairs. And I am good at I love candid pictures. I love taking photos. Like I got a good camera on my phone. So does hubby. Like we're gonna figure it out. We're gonna get cute. We're gonna go in that garden. We're gonna take some pics. Okay. So I'm looking forward to that, and hopefully that happens tomorrow. If not for sure Wednesday. It has to happen by Wednesday, actually. And then yeah, I definitely so I don't know. I probably won't post them on Instagram, but I might. So definitely go follow Instagram if you guys are not following Instagram. It's the same, the Jamaitians on IG. And yeah, not too sure about anything else that's happening tomorrow, but you guys will definitely see me. I'm mostly going to be doing a live. I think I'm going to be doing a live every day up until the kids go back to school. I know I've been telling you guys that. And I've been doing okay. I think I've done more lives than regular. So yeah, girl. Put on a timer and put it on. Yeah, take those pics. I know. And I can have one of the workers take like the group one for all of us too. Um, but I could do a timer one. I didn't think about doing the timer situation. Yeah. You know what? I need to go find me a selfie stick too. But that's just for you guys. It's not really for taking those pics. But yeah, I want to do that, and I definitely want to. Probably tomorrow, I'm going to do some work on the channel in the back burner because I need to figure out. I think I want to change my banner, and I actually, Marlene, tell me because I'll ask them and they haven't answered me yet. I was thinking about okay, because our icon, our picture, our profile picture is the family minus one child, okay? And yeah, so once we do these pictures, I can either add one of those pictures and change that, or it can just be me. Either way, I'm good with that. Because I haven't uploaded, I haven't done the kids yet. Xavier's not added yet, so I don't know. They don't really be on this channel, but it is the Jamaicians, so I don't know. Either way, I'm fine. I guess I'll see how the pictures come out, and then I'll change it. But I definitely want to change that, and I also want to change the banner. Um, so yeah, what do you think? I think I'm gonna change it and just add Zadie to it. We'll see how cute we look. How good of a job I do. Let me see. I think you should do yourself. Really? Yeah, maybe I'll do that too. We'll see. I mean, I have a couple pictures on my phone. I can just do. Um, yeah, I'll play with a few pictures and see. Oh, that's not a bad idea either. Your family as the banner. Good idea, girl. Good idea. Good idea. I'll definitely um I'll definitely take those pictures and play with a few of them. Okay. Okay. I like that idea too, girl. But yeah, you guys. What else? Anything else? That's basically it. Tomorrow, you guys will definitely see me probably around this time again tomorrow. Um, I know you guys. I did like a earlier. I do earlier lives during the week, and then on Saturday keep our regular time. But you know, Today happened to be this time, but you guys always get a notification anyway, so I know you guys are good. Thank you, Marlene. You as well. You guys, thanks so much for coming in and chit chat with me. Hope you guys are having an amazing day at work. Hope lunch was amazing. If you haven't already, like, comment, subscribe, all the things. Hit that notification bell. You don't want to miss a thing. And yeah, y'all, I love coming on here today. Like it definitely from the 10 minutes up until I got into live, like the whole mood has switched. You know what I mean? And it's all about being grateful, y'all. It's all about being grateful and taking the time to have some gratitude and just, you know. So thanks again for tuning in, and yeah, find your joy or create it. Bye, y'all.